Thank you for joining me. Okay, I thought I might touch base on the Nicola Bulley reading again, just briefly. I finally got to see some information on this. Previously, I was just Googling and looking it up on Google for information on it, and I was seeing nothing. I was seeing nothing since February, and so there was no information. But I finally went onto YouTube and I looked up some armchair detectives, and they seem to be on it. They seem to show the whole picture. They show footage of different things, what's being investigated, interviews of other people, and so I finally got to see some things on this, because previously I had no idea. I was just going off the questions. I must say I was quite surprised by some of the past readings that I had done, and being tied down is one of the questions that I wanted to ask on this also. The cards are just telling me now what it is I'm going to be basing this reading around. So here I am mumbling about it, but yeah, like I was saying, and I've got to talk slower, people tell me that I talk too fast. So I was noticing how some of the things in my readings were making sense to actual different events that had happened. And for me, that I had not looked at any part of this, I didn't know what was going on. This is telling me to look at the relationship, the stability of the relationship. And this one here is telling me about the tied down card, how I kept getting the tied down in the last few readings. It's asking me to ask on that as well. But what I was thinking, one of the things was I was getting something about a white dog, and I'm thinking, oh, what's this about the white dog? And it turns out, by what I read or what I looked at on somebody's video, is that the police were wanting to talk to somebody. Let's see, this is about the children. This is the children, but it's also a field. So it's telling me about the field, talking about the top. There's something about the top field that was going on as well. And this is to do with what I'm speaking on now. So where I was getting about the white dog, the police are wanting to talk to somebody that was walking a white dog around about the time that, was it the phone that was found? I think it was 9:33 or 9:20. So placing this person with the white dog in the field at the same time. Nicola was in the field at the same time Penny was in the field. There was something going on there with that. And the cards are saying, as I'm talking about the white dog and that person the police are wanting to talk to, I'm seeing the field. This is the card about the field. Okay, another thing, a lot of questions that seem to be out there is around the friend that does a lot of the interviews, the one with the makeup, the one that with the blonde hair. Now, in some of my spreads, and I've been meaning to go back through and have a look, I kept getting the card of, and I kept saying it's two people, but it's the card, in the card it's blondes, two blondes. So I wanted to ask on that as well. The friend, which is also a blonde like Nicola, some people were saying that she was pretending to be Nicola. So that's all. I didn't know that. But the cards were showing at some points and different things, and I'm saying it's two people. Two people are involved. This card is two blondes in this card. So perhaps that could be something to do with the friend. So I do want to read on that now that I know about that situation. Okay, and many options. So again, the cards have been telling me that there's many options. So what we're going to be focusing on, it is saying that the cards have been saying all along the way that there is more to the situation. And again, I'm trying to slow down. There's more to the situation than what is being given out to the public. I've been getting things from the beginning about discrepancies in what people are saying. The last read I got that there was a lot of narrative, like a creative narrative around the situation. Somebody was saying this is what we need to say. So it was like a group of people that know something are not giving out correct information. Somebody is behind it saying this is what we need to be saying. So there's some kind of creative license on the narrative. Somebody's controlling the narrative of the way things are being said. Now, I'm also not saying that those people murdered her. I'm not saying that in any way. I'm saying there's something that's known that's not being given correctly, information's not being shared correctly. There's been a creative narrative around that. I have never said that those people murdered her. I'm saying those people know something, or there's something in the situation that's not being brought to light, that somebody is not giving out the information, something that perhaps could help police, perhaps it could harm them. Like maybe that's maybe what obviously, for some reason they're holding back on information. That could be because they're trying to protect somebody or trying to make the situation look differently than what it actually than what it is. So maybe they don't want police to think there's a motive of some way. So perhaps they're covering up something that could make it look like there was motive, because at the moment I don't think it looks like there's motive, but maybe that's what they're covering up on. There's something here I'm hearing about motive, so that's maybe what they're covering up on. If they have, and I'm not reading the cards here, I'm just picking up on things that are coming through for what I'm going to ask the cards. So, but I'm getting something about motive. That could be the reason that there is licensing or controlled narrative of what's being said, is because they want to protect somebody from looking like they could be guilty. Okay, so I did want to ask a question about the field, something about the top field. I really don't know much about that, but apparently something was going on in the top field. I'm just going to ask on it anyway to find out what it was. I'm also going to ask on relationship. I've said I wasn't going to ask about that, but I'm just going to ask if it's related to the death, and that's as far as I'm going to go with that. I don't want to. From what I'm seeing from all of the reads I've done, there's problems, there's been issues, there's been fighting, there's been issues, and I can see that. I've seen it in every single spread I've done. And here there's something about tied down. I would like to know more about that, because it falls out all the time. Tied down can be burdens. Tied down could be assets. Assets, like when you're tied into a relationship because of your assets. So it could be you're tied down to the relationship because of the assets. Something's tying you down to could be children even. Something's tying you down into the relationship. Anyway, I don't want to be too long today, but okay, mostly we'll see what the cards want to ask first. First of all, we want to ask again, am I connected? Here we're in two minds about something. So there's two minds, or two things going on. We're in two minds. Okay. So first of all, I just want to check in with the cards, check in with my spirit team, make sure I'm okay to still read on this, please. Am I still okay to read on the Nicola Bulley stuff, please? Okay. Going with the flow, come up twice. Okay, be authentic. So I need to, what I'm getting, I need to say. So if there's something here that comes up that I feel like I shouldn't say it, I need to say it. It's saying. Now also saying here about, this is my commitment card, which is called either jail. It could be somebody, and this is just me asking about, can I read on it? This is telling me something about long-term commitment. It's a long-term commitment. Death do us part. That talks about a relationship ending. Death do us part, or a commitment. There's a commitment here. Okay, and so does this give me? This is telling me to be authentic. It's telling me to give honest, accurate reads. So what I'm seeing, I need to say. So I don't need to hold back on anything. So where I was worried about delving into the family, if this is where the cards are wanting us to go, then this is where we're going, and I'm going to tell you what I see, and that's what the cards are saying. And especially when it's showing me next to death do us part, which to me is a long-term relationship, and death do us part, well, that has been the case, and it's telling me to speak on it and to be open and accurate about what I see, and don't be scared and just don't hold back. Go with the flow. The next card to that was go with the flow. So it's saying go with the flow. Whatever happens, I need to say it. Okay, well that's exciting. Now first of all, I wanted to talk on the friend. Let's talk on the friend. Okay, cards, is there anything you can tell me about the friend? I believe her name's Emma, the blonde friend. Is there something you want to tell me about the blonde friend Emma, please, cards? Just want to make sure. I'm just going to... Okay, I'm back. Oh, okay. Now I shuffled these and I'm getting some cards that are the same. So it's telling me now about the commitment. Commitment cards come up and go with the flow. So where I just pulled those cards when I was asking about, can I read on this situation? It said, yes, you need to be authentic and read on the situation, even if you're getting something about the relationship. It's saying you need to say it like it is. Okay, and then I ask again on the friend Emma, and again I get the card, till death do us part. Commitment, relationship, commitment is what I'm getting. Okay, and it's telling me that I do need to read on that. I need to tell you. Again, it's saying, okay, we've got two fight cards here. Okay, so now either Emma is aware of the fight that was going on between Paul and Emma. She's the cause of the fight that was going on between Paul and Emma, or she was involved in the fight between Nicola and Emma, or Nicola and Paul. Okay, so, but I'm getting there's some kind of fighting. We've got I have 2 fighting cards in the deck, and 2 cards have come out. Now, every time I do a spread around Nicola, I'm getting the fighting cards. I get the attack cards and I get the fighting cards every time. Now I'm talking on Emma, the friend Emma, and once again I'm getting the 2 fighting cards. So there was fighting. There was fighting around her in some way. So it's saying around Emma. So either Emma was causing a fight between Paul and Nicola, or Emma was involved in a fight to do with one of them. So there's what I'm getting, there was fighting, and I'm getting 2 fighting cards. I'm getting 2. This is the 2 cards, the balancing the 2. So it's a fight between 2 people, and this here is called split mind. You're in 2 minds. So it's saying, it's telling me here, let me just pick up on what this exactly is saying, because I feel like these cards are being really they're pulling out stuff. So what they're telling me is that there's 2 sides to a situation. It's to do with 2. There's 2 things going on. Perhaps that could have been Paul seeing 2 people, and these are the things that I said that I was never going to talk on, because the first reading I did, I was getting stuff like that, and I said, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to read on that stuff. People have been saying in my comments, well, I think it's fundamental to the case. Why aren't you talking on this stuff? And then my cards today on asking, can I read on this? They're saying I need to be authentic, and if I see something, I need to say it. So what I'm now getting when I'm talking on Emma is that there's fighting, and it's to do with us. Now I say marriage, but marriage also to me means relationship. So this is called long-term commitment till death do us part, which is vows marriage, but that also that means relationship. It's to do with a long-term committed relationship, or not even long-term, it's committed relationship. So a commitment 2 people make to each other is what I'm getting. So where I say marriage, to me marriage, it makes no difference to the cards. Marriage, relationship, commitment, it all means the same thing to the cards. Now, I'm getting why do I get fighting, reading on Emma, we're fighting about relationship, we're fighting about a commitment is what's going on. There's 2 sides to the situation, there's 2 clear points of view to the situation, or there's 2 involved. So there's 2 sides of it, or somebody's seeing 2 people, or there's two sides to the situation, which I'm feeling is more accurate. There's 2 sides to this situation, and here we're in 2 minds. So, but it's called mind split. So I'm also very drawn to the word split. So there could be a split between the 2 friends, or a split between the partners, Nicola and Paul. There is a split of some sort. So it's either a causing of a split, and here we've got the loss. This is the loss of something. So it's a loss. Could be the loss of a relationship, but I'm talking about Emma, and this is what I'm finding bizarre. Why am I reading on a relationship or a commitment between Paul and Nicola, when I'm reading on Emma? That's what I'm not getting. Maybe I am reading on Paul and Emma. Okay? I'm only saying I'm saying what I see because the cards told me to be authentic and say what I see. Okay, I am seeing fighting. There's fighting to do with a long-term relationship, or a commitment, or a marriage, or some kind of relationship. There's fighting to do around that. I'm seeing a split. We've got split. This is also 2 minds. Someone's in 2 minds about something. They're not sure which one they want to go with, or they're in 2 minds about it. This one here is a loss of something. Somebody's losing out. Someone's lost. Death do us part is also death. It's death do us part. So when I'm talking on Emma, I'm also talking about death do us part. That's a friend. So she has lost her friend due to death. So that could be as simple as that. But because it's around a lot of other complicated cards, such as fighting cards, this is the water card, decisions being 2 points of views, a loss and a split, I feel like it's a lot more to it than just losing a friend. I think there's more involved here. I'm also getting here, this is the dark river card that we talk about, and the field. When I was talking about it, I've got 2 rivers in these cards. One's a big open field, and one's like a right into the river. This one here is talking about the open field, something about the open field. And this here is turmoil. There's turmoil around that. Now, the thing so what I am seeing, and I can say pretty confidently with these cards, the cards are saying that there was fights, drama, turmoil, chaos, split to a committed relationship surrounding the triangle of Paul, Emma and Nicola. Now, I don't know exactly if that is Nicola and Emma, if that's Nicola and Paul, or if that's Paul and Emma. But I am feeling there's fighting and there's split to a relationship of some sort, because I'm reading on Emma. Or Emma's involved, or the cause of the fights and the splits and the chaos. That's what the cards have said. Okay, so while we're on Emma, I just want to ask, because I don't want to be here too long today, while I'm on Emma, I want to ask, people have been saying that, and I have no opinion one way or another, let's make that clear. I don't believe one way or another. So, okay, so I haven't asked the question yet, so I'm just going to have a little quick look. What here it's about information, letting go, shining light on information, being resilient. But I haven't asked any questions. The question that I'm going to ask is, people have been saying that on the CCTV footage that Emma gave to the police, it's actually Emma and not Nicola. So something about the dog lead, I'll pick that card up in a minute. We haven't got the question out, so it's not important. So it was just a card of something new, protecting yourself. A card is not related because we haven't got the question out to the cards yet. Okay, so the question is, the CCTV footage, people have been saying that Emma posed as Nicola. Is that the case? Was it Emma and not Nicola in the field that day? Okay, there's a lot of cards here. Oop. Okay, something about the caravan, something about the timing, something about the kids. That was the other thing. They said Emma dropped the kids off. We've got the kids here. Priorities kept coming. This card here of priorities and lots going on was coming up with Nicola when I first read on her as well. Connection, there's a connection in a way, and there's some strategy. So there's some kind of strategy or strategic, something strategic in this situation. We're asking on, did Emma, and like I said, this is not my words, this is not something I believe, this is just something people are saying. They've been saying that it's Emma on the CCTV footage, and the only reason I'm talking on it is because I kept getting the card of the two blondes, and they're back to back in the cards, and I kept saying there's two in the situation, and I'm seeing the two blondes. So now I'm thinking that two blondes card could be a way that the cards are telling me that that's Emma. So are you telling me that Emma was impersonating Nicola? What are you saying here? Okay, here's a walking. This is a walk and a journey. This here is about the caravan or the van. So whether Emma took a van or the car van that was there, or Emma was near the caravans or the vans. I'm not getting any direct yes or no. I am getting that we're looking at it in the wrong. It's a different perspective. We need to be looking at it from a different perspective is what we're getting. I just want to tell you what are the cards. There was an assistance of some way. So this assistance card comes up quite a lot in Nicola's readings, but there's strategy involved, and I haven't had this card before until we're starting to read on Emma. There's some kind of strategic way of speaking or saying things, or there's some kind of planning and strategy involved is what I'm getting. Here it's something about the times. See, we're seeing here someone with two different times. So it could be related to the phone. One person saying 9:20, one 9:33. I'm not sure if that's it, but I'm getting something here about there's strategy or there's something going on with Emma and the timing. There's something about two times and the timing going on here. Could be related to dropping the kids off at school, because right next to that we've got the kids at school. Priorities, somebody had a lot on, or they're trying to get the priorities straight or the story straight. Here is something about walking. This is the walking trip here, the journey and the trip. Now I'm not saying that it's yes. I'm not getting a clear answer to yes, and for me to say yes, I would need it to be clear. I'm getting that there's strategy, there's something about the kids, there's something about the time, there's something about priorities, and there's something about a journey or the walk and the caravans, and there's something here about not looking at it from the right perspective. So the perspective is wrong. So that could be related to the CCTV footage. They said there's something about there's some discrepancies on that CCTV footage, so it could be the perspective that we're viewing that from could be incorrect. Okay, cards, is there something... Now, the other thing... Oh, there's the card. Speaking of which, it's come up, flipped up the wrong way. When I was saying the two blondes, and I thought it kept coming up, and I'm saying it's two people involved, two people, it's two blondes. And I'm thinking maybe that is when we're talking about Nicola and Emma, or this could be relating to Emma. The other thing that kept coming up prominently throughout is I see the dogs and the white dogs in the cards, and I keep saying white dogs. Well, Emma's last name is White. So I'm going to go back through those readings that I've done where I've spoken about the white dogs to see if I was answering any questions, to see if somehow Emma's related, if it's saying, if it was my card's way of telling me that we're talking about Emma White instead of the white dogs. But there's something going on about a white dog or surname White kept coming up. Okay, cards, is there anything else you want to let me know about Emma, please? Emma, please. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, just grab this. Okay, this is very interesting. This is what else the cards want me to know about it. Okay, this is the card that came up in the very first reading about either she hasn't seen, when I said Nicola didn't see the full picture, didn't see who was behind her, didn't see who was involved, or there was some kind of attack on her, but she wasn't aware of it, she wasn't seen in some way. We're getting this card when I'm asking the cards, is there anything else you can tell me about Emma? We're seeing the card. It also means difficult situation, difficult choice. It's called difficult choice, and I'm seeing two swords, but I'm seeing eyes are closed. So not wanting to be seen, not wanting to see. Can be an attack card. It can be related to how they fell out the first time in Nicola's read. Sorry, I'm just trying to tap in a little bit more to get more information out of this. Okay, so, and receiving something. So she received something from it, or she's receiving something. Okay, I'm also getting here, this is a many options card. When the cards first fell out at the beginning, they said they wanted to talk about many options. Okay, so many things. And now we're saying Emma's related to that. Emma's involved in that. I do need to ask directly, did Emma see the death? Because that will tell me if Emma was there at the time of Nicola's death. No matter what way Nicola died, whether she died in the water, she died on her own, she fell into the water, somebody placed her into the water, she died the night before, as some people are saying, doesn't matter. If I ask the question, was Emma at the scene of her death or with her when she died, or did she see her die, then that gives me the answer of whether or not she was there. Now, when I asked on Penny before, did Penny see the death? It said no, twice. Two no cards come out. So no, she did not see the death. Whether she knows more about it, she knows something about it, but did say that she was not giving the full, correct, accurate information about something. She was holding back information, or she was putting a creative narrative on something, or a controlled narrative, whether she was being controlled about what she said or she was controlling what was said. That was what was coming up with her, but it said she didn't see the death at all. She didn't see it. So I need to ask that also on Nicola. But getting back to what else the cards are saying is that suspect motives. Now I've asked the cards, is there anything else that you want to tell me about Emma? Because this read is primarily on Emma, the friend, because I was getting the white dog, so white, and I was also getting the two blondes on the blonde. So I just wanted to clarify that, because there's so many things I didn't know about this reading, but the cards were saying different things. So I just wanted to clarify those couple of things as well. Okay, this is suspect motives. So either she's a suspect, because it says suspect motives, or there's suspect motives behind the situation. And getting back to the start of the reading, before I started pulling cards, and I was getting something about motives. The word motives kept coming to me. Either something wasn't, they're holding something back because they didn't want to look like somebody had a motive, is what I was getting. And now we're seeing motives in her read. So I feel like that's telling me that they're holding back on something because they don't want to look guilty. They don't want to look like they had a motive. So whether they did or they didn't, it's like somebody's holding back on something, or not being seen, not showing the full picture, because they don't want to be seen to look like they had a motive in this at all. Here is about being exposed. This is a card of being exposed. So I feel like things are being brought to light, and a lot of people are asking questions, and I feel like she's maybe retreated, or we're not seeing as much of her, because I feel like people are starting to ask questions now, where things are being exposed, like they're analysing different things she's saying, and it's like there's an exposure going on here. I think something's being exposed in this situation. Now, I did say when we read on her before, there was absolutely some kind of issue in the relationship that she either knew about or she was involved in, because I was seeing the two fight cards, and we're seeing it to do with the relationship and the split. So she was involved in that in some way or another. She either knew about it, or she was the cause of it, or she was flat out involved in it. So she was definitely in that situation. It was very clear. Here is the card of something being exposed. So I feel like maybe those kind of things are being exposed now. They're coming to light. So the last question that I want to ask on Emma is, did she see Nicola's death? Please. Did Emma see Nicola die? Did Emma see Nicola die? White. Here's my white dogs. Remember I said I talk about throughout the readings in the past, I've seen white dogs, the white dog card, and I didn't know if that's related to something about the white dog, which the police are now looking for the man that was walking the white dog, or if it's related to Emma being Emma White, because we kept getting the white. So funny this, and I've asked did Emma see Nicola's death? Okay, something about the timing. Water. Okay, now I'm not getting any definite yes here. I'm not getting any definite no here. I'm getting something about either white dog. We're either talking about Emma, or we're talking about the person with the white dog. And I'm now seeing, and here is the two water cards. So two water cards. Network. This is the card of network. So Emma is in the network of people that know. So the network of people that know she's in. Now, I'm not seeing here that she saw the death. There's more to it. So there's much more. This is more to the situation. Okay. And the cards have told me to say what I see. I'm feeling conspiracy here. I'm feeling this card to me. I'm feeling conspired, or conspiracy is the word I'm getting. And some of these things I would hold back on in the past, and I wouldn't say them because I don't want to imply one way or another. But I feel like the cards have told me to be authentic and say what I see or say what I hear. And I'm hearing something about conspiracy or conspired, and that's related to more to the situation. I'm not saying it's the death. I'm saying there's more to this situation, and there's some kind of conspiring or conspiracy. So it could all be conspiracy. It could be she conspired. I'm not distinguishing between the word conspiracy or conspiring. That's just what I'm hearing. It's quite hard. I feel it's more conspired. Like there's something conspired around the timing is what I'm getting. Okay, so I'm just going to ask now, I'm going to ask the cards, is there anything else that they want to talk on about this situation? Because they keep saying there's more to it. Okay, I'm getting timing again. Okay. Here we're getting something about timing around the kids. So I think it's just leading on further from the last question here. There's some kind of conspired timing around the kids. Now, I don't know if that's to do with the CCT footage, the CCT coverage, because I don't actually have any card that would indicate CCT cover. I do have a camera card that could be CCT, but it's not coming out. But what I am getting is that there's some kind of timing. There's something to do with the timing around the children being dropped off at school. There's something going on there. Maybe that was conspired. I mean, I would think that's pretty straightforward. Either the kids could tell you who dropped them off at school. Maybe that's a conspiracy. Maybe that's the conspiracy we're talking about. Because I feel like, the kids would know. And there's something about timing, the children, and the conspiracy or the conspired. So perhaps that's just conspiracy is what it's saying. Okay, so the cards are wanting to talk on what the connection is. So the connection between Okay, the connection between the children and the timing. So there's a connection there. So the cards are wanting to talk on what the connection is between the cards of the children and the timing. Also about the relationship. This is the stable relationship. So it's talking about the relationship and wanting to talk about that bit more on that. Here we're talking about somebody pulling the strings. So this is someone pulling the strings. So the cards are also wanting to talk on that. So let's see. I'll give them one more shuffle, and they can tell one more shuffle to see what they want to talk on, and go a little bit deeper into one of those things, please, cards. Okay, so something deeper that you want to tell me on this Nicola Bulley situation, please. Okay. Kids again. Every time it says it over and over again, the card jumps out. It wants to talk about the kids. Changes. This is the changes. This is two similar looking people and talking about changes, the changes around that situation. Okay, I think, and this is my yes card on the bottom, by the way. Whatever question I asked, the yes card was on the bottom. Okay, I think maybe they need to look into that. Okay, so this is me asking the cards, is there anything more that they want to talk about? Okay, this is the turmoil around the destruction, the turmoil that comes up from time to time around her. Let's get back to the kids. Let's ask, what is it you're trying to say? What do you want to talk more on about the kids, please? What's going on here with the kids that you keep saying there's something going on around them? Is the story changing? Maybe they gave the wrong times, unorganised, there's lots going on. I'll grab that card. Death card. The death card fell out on the floor. Okay. So it keeps wanting to talk about the kids, or the timing surrounding the kids going to school, being dropped off at school. Talking about two people that look the same. This card came up once when I was reading about Paul, when I said about the two birds. So here is something about two people, two similar looking people, or two people. It's called changes. So there's a change of a situation, changes to it, either changes in actually what's being said is not real, changes to who was supposed to drop the kids off, some kind of chaos and unorganised around it that morning. So some things were going on that caused changes to that routine, that normal routine became very chaotic. And here is the death. The death. Okay, I'm going to ask, did Nicola die before the kids got dropped off at school? And I have never asked this before. I'm just wondering if that's where you're leading me. Did Nicola die before the kids got dropped off at school, please? Did Nicola die before the kids get dropped off at school, please? No. That's my definite no card. One more. Okay, I'm going to pick up that card on the... I've picked up the card off the floor. That's death. Death. Okay, underneath it. Underneath it again, it's called the changes card. It's the two similar looking females. Field. This is also my dark river card. My dark river card, the field. It's the field, the big field near the water. Death, big field near the water. Now I asked, did Nicola die before she dropped the kids off at school? Here's my definite no card, my definite no card. Here there was a lot of chaos. There was chaos to the normal routine. Here is Nicola. This is Nicola walking the dog. This is my card for her, for Nicola. This is self, the card that comes up sometimes when we thought it might have been self-harm or she went in on herself, it was a self. So here's Nicola herself, which comes up quite often. Okay, chaos again. This is called calming chaos. So there was a lot of chaos already. Maybe it was the fighting. There was some kind of chaos surrounding. Now I asked, was it before the kids were dropped off at school? There was some kind of chaos that was out of the ordinary, or something that was shook up the normal routine that morning before the kids, because the cards kept wanting to delve deeper into the kids situation, the changes around the kids, the changes around the schedule or the normal routine to the kids, because this is twice these three cards have come out saying the same thing when I've asked the cards came out that way, and I said, what do you want to talk on? And it said about the kids, the changes around the kids, and the changes to the normal routine and the chaos. And now that I'm delving deeper into it, the cards have come out once again. They've come out again. Also, for the second time, straight up after each other, the death card has come up. Okay, we're seeing Nicola herself, Nicola and self, and here we're seeing there was some kind of sadness around it. So this is a card of separation, separation and sadness. So maybe there was definitely some kind of saying calm and chaos. So there was some kind of change to the normal routine before the kids got taken to school. There was some kind of chaos going on around. It's saying no, that whatever that question was that I asked, it's saying no. Did she die before the kids went to school? It's saying no. No. She walked the dogs. This is her walking the dogs. I think that it was her walking the dogs. And it's saying self. I think it was her that walked the dogs. I don't think it was Emma that was walking the dogs like people are saying. I think that kind of might have been conspiracy. There's something not right here, though. I'm not getting what it is. There's something that's not right. While I'm saying I don't think it's her, I feel like there's still something here I'm missing. There's something that's not right in this whole situation right here. The cards have led us right here to this situation. Something about the chaos surrounding the timing of the kids, something going dropped off at school. There's chaos around that. There's discrepancies in the timing, or there's some kind of conspiracy or a conspired something. There's chaos. There's changes to the normal routine going on around that situation. There's death. But when I asked, was there death happened before the kids went to school, it said no, it didn't happen before they went to school, but I think there was chaos. There was chaos and there was changes to the normal routine. Here we're seeing Nicola again, Nicola, and it's saying self. Okay. Okay, now I know there's changes to the situation. Okay, did Nicola die the night before this, please? Because we're asking before the kids went to school. Maybe I need to be more specific with the cards. People have been saying that she died the night before. Okay, did Nicola die the night before, please? The night before they claim she died. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, again, we're seeing walking the dog, we're seeing dog. I'm getting a feeling that it was her walking the dog. I don't think she died the night before. This is telling me something about the relationship, something about the dog, something about walking the dogs, or something about Emma White, because again, we haven't worked out if these cards are always talking about the white dog or Emma White, but here we're seeing it could just mean walking the dogs. This could have been the closest card to fall out. Something, and dogs, relationship, lining things up, going through, sorting through your priorities, sorting through assets or priorities. That was the night before. Loyalty, something about who's loyal. Loyalty. The dog also means loyalty. So it's about loyalty in the relationship. Maybe that was coming to light the night before. Something about loyalty and relationship. Things were lining up. Sorting through priorities. Somebody going through the priorities. When I was tapping into Nicola's energy before the moment she died, this card come up. She was sorting through her priorities or through her assets, or she was weighing things up, so trying to sort things out, getting things sorted out around that. Here it's lining up. This is when you put your ducks in a row, it's about things being lined up, but it can also be about getting your ducks in the row before you make a big decision or a big jump or a separation or something like that. If you've ever heard that saying, get your ducks in a row first. So this card's coming out as well. I don't think it's overly significant. I don't think it's that important and related to it. I asked, did she die the night before? I'm not seeing any death cards here. I'm not seeing anything that indicates turmoil, struggle, fighting, but I'm seeing something about her getting things lined up in her own head. So either she's known about something, this is where she's deliberating on it the night before, but I'm seeing her trying to sort through her priorities or how she feels about it, sorting through assets or sorting through something. She's trying to sort herself out in her own head what's going on, or sort something out, line things up. Here, I'm again seeing two dog cards, and we're talking about the night before, but I'm not seeing any death cards. I am seeing it's related to the relationship. Okay, so I just wanted to touch base just briefly, since I'd actually got to see a couple of interviews on the whole thing to see what's going on, and I just wanted to see basically if Emma was the card of the white dog that kept coming out, and it seems to come out that it could be indicating white, could be indicating Emma White, because when I asked on Emma, the card came to the side saying white, saying that was her nominated card for the read was the white dogs. The white dogs could just mean Emma White. So I might go back through my readings and have a look where that white dog card fell out before to see if they're talking about Emma, something she knows, or if they're talking about Emma, or if they're talking about the man that knows something about the timing, because we keep getting some kind of issues around the timing as well. So maybe the man knows more about the timing, or maybe it was Emma. She knows something about the timing to do with the children, because it kept coming back here with the children at the time they got dropped off at school. So there's some kind of issues around timing there, discrepancies or conspiracies or conspired. This kept coming up in today's reading. Anyway, if you have any questions, comment below and I'll ask the cards, see what they say. Thanks so much for joining me. Something about the timing here, I feel